I'm Sade, also known as @JustDay, and OMG is Just Day, and www.omgitsjustday.com. And today we are drinking Yellowtail Sangria Blanco. We've drank this before. It is 10% alcohol, and it's sweet and tropical, and it's a white sangria. Mm-hmm. And we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
Woo! What name y'all want, baby?
No.
I have several aliases.
You can call me Mr. Picture-Right. You can call me Jonathan. You can call me a lot of good things. Just don't call me fake, baby. We good.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. And also, on a more serious note, my name is Jonathan Wright.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be.
I'm here with the squad, you know, house and wine. You dig? Alright, but I had to bring a hat too, because I ain't cut my hair, and I got the blazer, so, you know what I'm saying? I had to.
Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me in several places, right? Sometimes you can find me in my house. Right now, you can find me here. You know what I'm saying? So, earlier, I was at this old lady's house fixing a stove, so you could have found me there too at that point. But, no, so like y'all can follow me on social media. It's Picture It Right, so picture like a photo, then it IT, and Right is my last name, WRIGHT. Picture It Right. You dig? Cause that's what we
Right.
do. You dig?
I mean, I just said,
Right on, right on. Yeah, talk to us.
She doesn't know how to introduce herself. Nope. Nope. She does this every episode.
I'm gonna need you to get your life together.
Y'all gonna act like proper one when she said.
Go ahead.
Proper.
Hi.
I don't know. We never know.
I know the wild door. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what it sound like.
Get your life together.
You go follow me at McWilson89. Follow me. Her last name.
Okay.
I don't.
That might be good.
Just for the consensus, this is her first glass of wine today.
That we know of.
That is very, very true. I'm not sure. We don't know.
So,
And please don't follow her. I say this every episode. Please don't follow it. Don't do that.
hey, we selling merch, y'all. We selling merch.
It's terrible. Anyways, you should know me by now. It's AngelLeeTv. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out on all the platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And if you don't want to watch us, you can always listen to us. And soon enough, you'll be able to go on Anchor and watch us too, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, you know, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, leave us comments. We respond to everything. So, woo.
All right.
Woo.
To start, me and Jonathan were talking about something really hilarious before we started taping, and it was the text message signatures.
Good
Oh,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Though. They were just
The text message gods. They were angry at us youngins. Token they stripped us of the text message signatures.
what the he's
R.I.P.
But that was back when there was like flip phones.
Yeah, that is true.
We had text signatures.
Yeah.
Good
Good
times.
times.
No, real talk though.
Oh man.
And I was telling Dave that like that's something I hadn't thought about since they've been gone, right? She's like,
I
yeah,
didn't
you
even
remember
think about
signature?
it.
I was like, a signature? I'm thinking like an email signature?
Right.
Or you talking about signing a paper? And she's like, no, that text message. And I was
I
like,
had a friend pretend to send text messages to someone as me, and she's like, yeah, you sent these text messages. And I was like, I don't think I did. And you want to know what the proof was? The proof was she didn't have my signature. It all came down to the text message
That's the
signature.
stamp.
Y'all should bring that back. It's a
Yo.
security thing.
now,
you know?
yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know why they took it away.
I didn't notice it was
I'm
gone
about to say.
until y'all just brought that up. I didn't even remember it. I was like, oh snap! Yeah, where did that go?
So
Interesting.
we're
I'm so good.
while we're here, right? We might as well jump into this group picture real quick. Because we're taking a moment to picture it right with the Mr. Picture It Right himself.
You're the king of selfies.
Yeah, dude.
True.
Alright, gotta get on the angle.
Get on in here.
Hey, and then. I got it. Hey, yeah. That song is actually real dope. I like that a lot.
Funny as hell.
I still look the same from high school.
Hey, that is a very true story.
From high school.
No. We were talking about this beforehand, right? I was like, hey, you remember when we met? Nope.
At least I was honest. I could have pretended like.
I was like, damn, I thought I was unforgivable.
But
I'm Mr. Right.
Yeah. This is before I even had the pictures to my name.
we've known each other for so long. Like, there's
Yeah.
some people you just don't remember meeting them. You just.
Like I've always known you. You've always been here.
Yeah, it just exists.
We were talking about how people, like the popular people in high school, they peaked in high school, and it made me think of that Jack Harlow line where y'all peaked in high school, and he's like still getting better or something like that.
It's true though, because
Yeah.
all the people that were like the cool kids in my high school now are like,
They plateaued, most of them.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing right now. I'm like, you don't.
It's
know
like, I see.
what happened.
Does your high school crush still look the same? Like would you still go after your high school crush?
Absolutely.
I know that my high school friend, my colleagues or whatever, high school friends, they not colleagues because we didn't work together, but my high school friends, my high school friends, I know that a lot of them look nothing like how they used to.
Like you wouldn't recognize them if you.
No, I
Right,
recognize them, but I don't recognize them. Like they do not look the same.
Yeah.
But
I hate it when you out somewhere and you run into one like somebody from your past, and they're always like, they know you for some dumb reason, and you just be like, yeah, that's of course I know who you are.
But-
You're you. You know, like
but
Been in your skin all your life.
you've been you as long as you've known yourself. I'm just saying.
Right.
You know?
I hate whenever I set them up or whatever, and people sit there and they recognize me. They're like, Lindsay. I'm like, oh no, you notice me. Why can't I look different like you guys?
Damn.
Wow.
But from what you're telling me, they're type of different. Don't look good. Right. So you might be happy.
I'm happy how I still look like myself, but I'm like, there's no, like, I still look as I do ever since I was a little girl. I still look the same.
I mean, that's
I've
a
seen
solid
her,
trait
like-
to have.
You still look the same. You're not aging.
Yeah, man, it's my hairline. R.I.P. Damn.
How long have you had your hair cut? Like, when did you cut your hair?
So, you want to get in that? You want the backstory, huh?
Figure it out.
Goddamn. My hair's been thinning since I was like 15, right?
Okay.
But I had braids, right?
Mhm.
You know,
I remember that.
right, when we first met, like I had braids and my hair was long, but it was like thinning in the middle. So like I got a real healthy uncle feel, like, you know what I'm saying? But the inside looked like knuckles, like right in the middle. once I cut my hair, I know I cut my hair, I want to say sophomore year of college, right? And I just was like, I was just rocking my regular, like, little cut or whatever, going to the barbershop. And then, my daughter was born the year after I cut my hair. And then that's when that hairline really started to creep back. It wasn't her fault though. It was like, you know, the atmospheric things that come along with that.
Like you're making me lose my hair.
It wasn't her though. It wasn't her. It was the atmospheric things that come along with that, right? And so there was two pivotal moments before I started cutting it all off. You know, you wanted the drip. You wanted the drip. Y'all wanted the story, okay? The first one was I was working at the Bank of New York downtown, and there was this young lady that had some self-esteem issues, so she just talked about everybody. And you could just tell she had self-esteem issues because she talked about everybody. And I was just like, shorty, your feet stink. Literally. Feet stink. I was sitting next to you, working, learning, but I kept smelling something, and I smelled your feet. But anyway, we ain't getting into that. But so I didn't say that to her. I was just thinking it in my head because she was talking crap. You know what she said to me? And that's why you got that bald spot. I said, yo! And I was like,
Since you sucked and pointed that out, I'm gonna talk about your feet.
I didn't even come for it. I was just like, oh, for real? Okay, yeah. Did y'all hear that too? Do I got a bald spot? Because, you mean, I can't see back there. I don't know. I thought I was good. The barber ain't said nothing to me. I'm over here like, hey, bro, hook me up, bro. Yeah, we got that crispy hairline, Johnny.
He didn't say nothing about what was going on right here.
He was not a true barber.
Bro.
He was not honest with you.
Homie, I put a mirror back there. I was like,
What are you cutting? What are you I gotta pay full price for my gun?
this is the Uncle Phil starter here. You gonna do me like this? And you want me to pay for this?
You know he probably would have said, did you ever say it to him?
No, I just stopped going to him. I was like, nah, dude, shady as a mug, man. He
I'm
only
like, well, I mean, I thought you knew.
So
Why would I tell you something I thought you knew?
So that was the
do I just be all up in here like this? Like, you? How would I know that?
real talk. So I'm walking around looking like somebody erased the back of my head. And the second pivotal moment was at the time I was in a relationship, right? And the young lady, and I appreciate her so much for this, man. We was in my bed one night and she was just holding me and stuff. Hey Johnny, you know, and I'm like, yeah, what's up, babe? She like, you know, you should just let it go. I was like, you know, I'm in the bed already. I'm already snuggled in. I'm snuggled in, right? So I'm like,
You didn't even run it.
you know, exactly. She clutched. She's like touching the hand, right? Hey, Johnny, you should just let it go. I'm like, what you talking about? All I knew it was, like, you know, like when you a kid and the parents knew what you already did, and they said, so what happened here? And you're like, oh,
I don't know.
what you talking about? So,
I ain't do it.
yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting there clutched in there like, so what you saying? What you talking about?
Also, if you embrace the things that people talk about and consider your flaws, then they can't use anything against you. Like, what else you got? What else you got going?
So that's what I did though. When she's told me that, I just cut it the next day, and like I've been cutting it ever since.
You save money.
Yeah, I haven't looked back.
You said you gotta go back to the shady barber ever again.
No,
I couldn't. Oh, I wish you could have seen him in the street. Like, hey, you remember me?
right.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
You remember me?
Oh, now you remember.
Oh, dumb. Like, yeah, you're
So
cute.
that's how I started my bald journey, cutting my hair completely. You know, if I let it grow for a week, I definitely got a healthy Uncle Phil, like healthy, like straight you right there. Bam. You be like, did a horse hit you, brother? Like, nah, why make you say that? 'Cause your hairline is like,
But as long as you're bald, no one can ever tell your age.
True
That's
that.
true.
True that. Yeah.
Like, you could be 70-some years old. No one can ever tell your age.
Facts. I like that. Yeah.
Just, whenever you get the craze and everything, you can either keep them or you can sit there and die them, but no one will ever know your age.
Right. Nah. So thank you for the question. I don't think I've ever shared that story so in depth. She was like, yeah, my hair was, what I mean, and then now I'm here. Yeah, I mean,
That's the Twitter abbreviation of that.
Because we live in such a fast-paced world. I can't be telling them that. It took me 10 minutes to tell that story.
That's kind of how I ended up with locks. I had an allergic reaction to some weave to the point where my scalp was so red. After like 3-4 days, I'm like, what in the actual? Like, I paid to get my hair done.
Paid to get your hair done?
And
that's what happened.
And it turns out there's chemicals in the hair when you buy it from the store that you don't even know about. And I was like, oh no.
That's madness.
Yep. They're like, oh, there's alkaline in the hair. You're supposed to wash it when you buy it.
Did it say that on the pack? Well, I mean,
no, it doesn't say that on the pack.
Yeah, so I'm like, nobody knows that. That's not a thing. I've never heard of somebody buying weave and being like, oh yeah, let me wash this first. No, they just stitch that stuff in there. I've never had weave. I've never noticed that. But that when you told me that shit, I was like, I'm sorry, you the hair that was on your head. Attacked you?
It was having an allergic reaction against my scalp. The hair that I bought.
It got angry and attacked you?
That was a battle.
Yeah.
Let's hear folks.
Real talk, yeah.
I remember,
I understand.
I used to always cover my forehead, because I do have a big forehead. But I used to always cover my forehead with a bang. I would have a bang. And I would have a weave little bang right here in the front. I always cover my forehead. And so
I get you serious. Baby, don't forget your bang. Go and glue that right on up.
she never said
Hey,
that.
yo, wind blows too hard. That shit go flying down the street. You gotta chase it.
I know, but whenever the wind did blow, it would sit there and flitter. It would go up and like, so that you hold it down. But
I got time for it.
I used to always get made fun of in school, and they'd be like, "You have a 5-head," and everything, and so they'd be like, "I salute you," and I'm like, "That's really rude."
You had
Who would sit there and say something to a kid like that? But they always make fun of me because of my forehead.
Yes.
But so as I got in like middle school, the middle of middle school and high school, I didn't care about wearing a bang anymore because I'm like, I start fighting people. And
That's not where that story is supposed to go.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was supposed to be like, the more you know. And
But
that's
no,
not how
I
social
got
media works.
comfortable. I got comfortable with
Knocking
my.
people's out.
Exactly.
I got comfortable with my own forehead because I got tired of people pulling
I
my.
bet you they got tired of getting beat up too. Like, you know what? Nah, chill. No.
Leave her alone.
No.
It's not
No,
worth
because
it.
in the
We're not
fight or whatever,
sure.
people would pull the bang out. I'm like, you know.
Oh, you want to beat me up?
Be like at the end of the fight, be like, yeah, I got you.
I'm like-
Snapshot. I'll be like,
I'm like,
hell
you
no.
know, I ain't gonna care anymore. Let it shine. Put some grease on it.
That's funny.
I'm gonna need you to come back, girl.
Yeah, that was me.
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back,
So
Joanne.
I wanna share this with you all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a guest on a podcast before.
Congrats.
So, yeah.
Oh my
so
goodness.
When you all were telling me about this, I was just like, say what? You'd like me to show up?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank you all for the invite. I appreciate being here a
We
lot.
appreciate
I
you
thank you for coming.
I'm so happy right now.
Just so y'all know, this joint gonna be worth a lot of money.
You know.
Y'all gonna be watching, they gonna be like, oh, I remember that one time. You know how like people be pulling up archives and stuff, old stuff.
No, I know him for real.
Exactly. Right? He had the turkey in his teeth and everything. Right?
So what made you get into photography?
Mm.
What made you pick up the camera?
So, man, I gotta say this one first. I'm gonna keep this one brief because I gotta.
You
this
have
one,
to keep it brief.
no, I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep it brief intentionally because this story is for my book. This story is for my book. So I picked up the camera because of my dad. When I was 8, was the first time that I actually he showed me how to use the camera, and then I don't know when the time span was after that, but he asked me this one question that always stuck with me. And what he asked me was, he said, yo, bro, I was still young. I probably was like 9, maybe. He's like, and now to think about it, I might have been younger than 8. I might have been like 6 or 7 when I picked up the camera. But anyway, I was still young when he asked me this question. He was like, so, what's one thing you can't get back in a fire? And I'm sitting there like, oh, I got this one. I was quick with it. VHS tapes. Like, no, you want to try again? I'm like, okay. We can't get the VHS back. I'm like, all right. I'm like, newspapers. And like, nah, you can buy more of those, bro. I'm like, all right, damn. Like, got one more chance, huh? He's like,
It's a really tough question.
I know. I'm like, damn.
Oh, they're sweating and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer.
And then he says photos. You know?
It's a memory.
Yeah, and that stuck with me.
And you can't get that back again if you lose it.
Yo, and that was like such a pivotal moment in my life, you know? Hey, we selling merch, y'all, just to let you know. We selling merch. See, look, we got the photo on the front, you know? Old school CDs.
I was wondering how that got there.
What is that?
I was like, did I bring that from upstairs? That was what happened here.
So that's when the journey started, to be honest. And so with that, I would always so for example, right, this merch that I'm selling, this is one of my first cameras I ever bought as an employee. You know, I had a job and I was like, ooh, I want to buy a camera. You know, and that was the first camera I ever bought. Now before that, right, this is what how did it go? How many years old I am or something like that.
This is I'm this.
Oh, I'm
Shows
this.
my age.
No, it was like I'm this many years old or something.
Yeah, I'm
like
this
that.
many years old.
I'm this many years old. I used to use a film camera, right? So my sister, right, she'd be like this. She'd be like, yo, bro, all right, look, I got this film, right? It's 22 pictures on it. She said, I'll give you 11 if you do the dishes for me. And I was like, oh, right. So she would go to school, she would take the pictures, and then she would save me 11 photos to take. I was like, yeah, man, yeah. So I go do the dishes, and I'm like, hell yeah, I got 11 pictures. So I'm out in these streets just taking pictures of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm out in these
That's a
streets.
good thing.
Happy.
Yeah. Click.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this stop sign. There's no graffiti. Click.
Yeah. And then my dad upgraded us to Polaroids.
Oh,
The original instant. Right?
Polaroids are still like,
They're still hot right now.
yeah, they're very expensive though.
I actually have like some Polaroids from the 90s that still work.
Oh wow.
I just bought some film for him, and me and my daughter, she has one and I have one, and yeah, they still work, man. I was like, yo, these things today
I
are
love
great.
Polaroids.
Wow.
And they still make them. They make the little mini ones and with the printers and whatnot.
So the journey was started really young with photography, and how I got to Picture It Right is being at the bank, right? I just knew that this was not the end. I just knew that, right? I was like, I should die now if I'm gonna stay at this bank. And I'm not even joking. Like that's how that ain't even funny for me because that's how bad it was being at the bank. And so for like 6 months, I just kept asking myself, like, what do you want to do that's going to make you happy and you can make money? And I kept just tabling and putting on the shelf photography. No, that's not the one. I love it so much. I just want to have it. And like seriously. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I like to teach kids, and you know, nah, bro, you We ain't doing that. You know, so I had to scrap that. Well, I like to build with the rector sets. Y'all remember rector sets? I can teach kids how to build rector sets. You know, just thinking of random stuff, but just be like, how do I get out of this bank and make money? And the one thing that kept coming up consistently was photography. So it was 2016. It was the end of 2016. I was talking to my coworker, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I can't do this no more. I'm like, I gotta figure out this name so I can buy this LLC, and I gotta do all this thing. I didn't know what the heck I was, man. I didn't know how to buy this LLC. I didn't know how to purchase domain names. None of that stuff, man. I had did all this research before I even knew what the heck this thing was even gonna be called, right? And then one day we was sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, you know, talking over the cubicles, cause you know it's like solitary confinement. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, what you down at CLB doing? Oh, slide that letter to me. You know? So I'm like, hey, bro, what you think about Picture It Right? He said, what? Picture It Right. Oh, that's fire, son. I said, all right. So I go online on my desk, right? Typing the name on GoDaddy, right? Joint was available. I said, I'm copping that joint. It was like $34. Cop that joint. I was like, all right. Check this out. I had blessed myself 2016 January, because I had bought an LLC because I was going. I was about to start this real estate business. Yeah. So that joint was already popping, right? So I had the LLC, got the domain name. I said, oh, now I just got to buy the camera. Yeah. So 2017, got my tax return, right? I got this Nikon on deck. I was already using Nikons because I was like shooting with my brother and stuff. So I had an understanding of like how to use them and get better. And then my brother, he was already better than me. He pulled up and he was just teaching me, telling me like, no, that ain't good. And every time he'd tell me this, I'd get pissed. Like, oh, I ain't good, huh? Oh, that ain't good? Okay. Let me clear this goddamn table. I'm coming back, you know? And like, it pushed me to like keep learning. There's plenty of nights he'll tell you, and I would call him delirious as hell. Like, hey, how you do this on Photoshop? And then call him back 5 minutes later, how you do this on Photoshop? He said, bro, I just told you 5 minutes ago. I'm like, just trying to learn. What are you screaming, man?
Some people went taking the criticism as well that you like they wouldn't use it as a motivating force.
Right.
It's like a lot of people don't realize that criticism, you know, people can take it in a positive way, a learning way, you know, and a lot of people could take it in a negative way. And it's like, if you take a criticism and like you gotta see, like someone's criticizing you or whatever, you have to sit there and like really listen to what they're saying so you could understand what they're saying in order to sit there and fix it.
Right. That's if it's of value. Some people are just being dicks.
That's the first word that came.
Yeah.
Like, did you have any like failures along the way?
Well, let me see. So let me define what a failure is to me.
Okay,
right?
that's a good starting point.
So my perspective of failure is it's a dual definition of like failure would be you giving up. Right, when something didn't go the way you thought it would, right? And also a failure would be let me leave it at that. A failure would be if you give up, then it'd be a failure. So to answer your question specifically, I've had no failures, but I've had a lot of lessons.
Yes.
You know.
You only fail if you don't get anything out of it.
Right. And just like when in a similar fashion, when people say like, "Yo, man, I was taking losses," and I'm like, "No, I was experiencing life and having lessons taught to me by way of experience." You know. So that's my definition of like failing, and like a loss would be. Loss goes back to, once again, for me, a loss would be if I gave up after you know something didn't go my way. So I never use, you know, those terms for myself.
The F word.
Yeah, the F word and the other L. You know, unless I say, all right, I've given up. like I've burnt out on things, and you know, it's like, you know, maybe I'll take a step back. You know, but as far as like failing, nah, no failures, and I don't expect that there will be any. There's been tons of lessons, like really, like for example, this is one lesson I learned. To everybody that's starting a business, right? Do your research, right? Talk to people that are in the field, and then do more research. Talk to more people that's in the field, then do more research. Because you know what I did? I said, you know what? I hate this bank. But I was making money, right? Bank was paying mortgages, bank was paying bills, bank was like getting me in spaces, you know, to kick with my baby more and stuff like that outside the crib. We was having a good time. We was at the bank. So I say that because I did research, and what I did was I just took shots. So I did the research, had the money, and just bought every goddamn thing that I didn't need. Don't even use it. I got lights like this at the crib. I ain't seen them joints. I ain't turned them things on in like 4 years.
You leaked before you even looked.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh no. They said this. Take it. Oh no, I'll just take the whole thing. Cool.
Add the cart.
Right. And it was like Amazon package. You know how like people had like bulky, like massive boxes of Amazon? That was me when I first started, because I just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nobody like, hey Johnny, you know what? You don't need that. And no, don't worry about it. Hey boy, don't worry about it. It was just like, they're using it. They're using it too. Put that in there.
That's nice.
Oh, freak it over.
I want to play with it
And that's
in the
true.
cart, buying.
Yeah. I got like shoulder rigs and stuff at the crib. I used the joint like one time or something, like used these lights like 4 or something. Like, man, I got stuff that I'm like, maybe I should give it away or something.
What sets you apart from the other photographers? Since it seems like, especially during the pandemic, there's been an influx of photographers, graphic designers, self-proclaimed people who dabble in those things.
Alright, so what sets me apart?
Yes.
Truly sets me apart is just my passion, right? And it's an experience while with me, right? Like you guys are experiencing this picture right moment with you, right? People get to experience that, and it's like, damn, like not only did he take great photos, but this guy, what's the word I'm looking for? He's very endearing, right? He makes me very comfortable.
You add to the environment.
Right. So when you come, it's not just a moment to just, hey man, I'm take a photo. Because people take photos all the time, but you're coming and you're getting an experience that you're going to remember, and so much so that I don't advertise, right? And business is all word of mouth, unless you know me, right? You know what I mean? But all my business has been word of mouth as far as like marketing. The marketing has been the people.
Yeah.
You know? And so what sets me apart is that experience that you get, and then in addition to that, after you get that experience of like, damn man, these pictures look so good on this camera, and then when you see them, you're like, whoa, these are really good. You know what I mean? And then it changes the dynamic even more, right? Because like, oh, not only is this guy like, he makes me laugh, he makes me comfortable, guy, girl, whoever, right? Babies love me too, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter. Like, he got the baby, man. I love him too. It's just beautiful. I think the cat ears were even smiling. You know what I mean? But it's just that energy that I bring that is very much myself. You know, so for me to like see people smiling and laughing and having a good time, that indicates me that positivity is present, and I build on that. You know.
Have you ever had an experience that wasn't such a great experience out of taking photos at an event? Where the energy was like all wrong?
Well, let me think about that one. And while I'm thinking about that, I'll state this, right? I consider myself a thermostat, right? And you know how the thermostat, you can go and change that jump.
Yeah.
I go in there and make whatever it is. I'm not even joking. People be coming in there, I don't like myself. When they get out of there, I love me. Right. Like good.
Changing the environment.
You know? So now let me ask you this, right? To your question. Is this specifically for a photo session or business overall with Picture It Right?
Like a picture, like picture it right, like
Photo session or overall?
overall.
Overall. And the question was there ever a what?
Did you ever have like a bad experience where like the energy was just off?
Yeah. You want that one? Okay. All right. Hope she don't watch this. Yeah. So. Okay.
Oh no.
So I'll make it vague but clear. Right?
Okay.
I was working with a person,
Mhm.
and they had this like overbearing, I gotta be in charge, energy, right? And you all experience it. On camera, off camera, right? And you're like, yeah, he's pretty much the same all the time, and this is who I am, right? But with this particular individual, it was, I'm paying you to do this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, get to the point, like, talk to me. I need you to do it in my fashion, with my eyes and my hands, and I'm like, what does that even mean? And
Borrow my hands.
and I'm like,
Translator somewhere.
are you paying me to do something, or are you paying me to listen to your eyes and your hands? I don't know. Did you want me to read with your hands and talk with your eyes or something? I don't know. And,
What am I supposed to be paying attention to?
right. You said you want me to cook with my toes and paint with my elbows. I got you. Cool. I'm confused, but whatever. So, this individual was very overbearing, and they had a hard time listening, right? And they had a hard time, first off, they had a hard time explaining what they wanted, right? So that made it challenging for me.
Communication 101.
Yeah. So when they would talk to me, I'd be like, you know, I seen the rainbows and the pixies, and that's not what you said. Oh, I thought that's what you said. Oh damn. I don't know. What did you say you wanted then? I don't. So it was always like a confusing
Y'all was
time.
playing two different sports.
Yeah, and I always had to just stay real chill. This is an individual that I never cracked jokes with. I never really smiled around. That wasn't good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to be alive.
Right.
You know, even when
You like to be yourself.
yeah, and this individual, you know how they be like, it's the family. That's this thing. This must have been like the sheriff.
chief.
Yeah, like they were like at the top tier of fun police, and they never knew what the heck they wanted. And then when I didn't get their vision out of their head that they never expressed correctly, I was wrong. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to dissolve this one because this
It ain't worth your peace.
it's not because
Cause you take that stuff home, like,
at the time I was
you
heavy.
know, like, you know what? Never mind.
And so I wanna add this part. So my childhood was not sweet, period, right? And this individual reminded me of an individual that I knew from my childhood, part of the childhood that wasn't sweet. And I was just like, oh, that's why we don't vibe, because you're a familiar spirit that's toxic, you know? And so that had to be dissolved, because I just didn't have it in me.
And sometimes you have to know there's no job that's worth your peace, the price of your peace.
Facts. So yeah, man. So that was it was a lesson. It was an experience that I definitely learned from. It was a lesson in sticking up for myself, right? Because I could have stayed in that scenario because they were paying me. And what I learned was that individual didn't value me at all, didn't value my work, even as much as they said it, the way in which they spoke to me indicated otherwise, right? Yeah, Johnny, I love it. Once the product, when I finally get whatever confusing statement was taking place initially, when I finally figured out that you wanted a blue cup and not the wine bottle, because your description was the wine bottle, I kept making a blue cup. You know, and no, your description was the blue cup, but we kept coming up with the wine bottle because it was so confusing because you didn't know how to describe the blue cup. When we finally get to that point, it was always, this is the best picture it right, baby. Woo! And I'd be like, yeah. I think I just lost like 5 years out of my life or something right now.
Like
my
it wasn't
spirit
like
is tore up.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like being in the corner getting beat. Okay. It wasn't right. Oh, fuck man. I don't even know if I got skin. It was bad. And so it was a lesson in taking up for myself. And so since then, I've come across individuals that call me on that like low vibrating function frequency, and let me be specific with that is I got those calls where it's like, well, why call so much? And well, if you know how to do it so well, why can't you just do it for $5? Excuse me? Yeah, and I can go to Sally Jesse Raphael and get it done for $10.99. So are you asking me permission to go to Sally Jesse? Are you asking me permission? No, I want you to do it. It don't sound like it.
You're either gonna pay me for my
It's
great
okay
work.
if people can't afford you.
Okay, so I'm like in all these in those scenarios that came up after that big situation, I've just like, if they drop the deposits, I've refunded deposits. I've got people calling, messaging me, this is bad business, picture it right. How so? Because I said this is a non-refundable deposit and you got it back.
Right.
So you want to complain about what? Because I'll keep it next time. I'll
Right.
let you put another deposit down. Like,
I
no
was
fact.
just being nice to sit there and refund it back to you, but obviously your attitude, I shouldn't have.
Right. I should say this was a fraud. No. They owed me that, and then they snatched it from me.
Oh goodness gracious.
So yeah, I mean, but so yeah, I mean, so moving forward, I'm just working with the people that I want to work with. If you give
You
me-
can pick and choose.
Period. And that's like the best thing about being an entrepreneur for me. One of the best things, because it's just like, yo, I ain't gotta deal with you. This ain't no 9 to 5, baby.
Right.
You know how many people want to work with me?
Right.
Enough. You know what I'm saying?
Enough to pay a little bit of bills.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of bit of bills, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Enough. So I ain't gotta worry about like if you don't want this discounted price that I already provided you. I was like, you want the regular price? I need a regular price. I tell people get upset when I say this. I say I ain't coming out the house unless it's $375.
Right.
So what I get with that? You know what you get with that. I already told you. You know what I'm saying? Would you know what I'm saying? $375. Well, I got a discounted price coming up in about 2 months. I got a promo coming up. You wanna wait? Okay, I'll wait for that. All right. They never show back up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get rid of people. Because those are the people that's going to be the headaches. Those are the people that's going to get the work. And they're going to go, oh, well, can you do this? And can they change this? And can you change that? And you're like, no. And no again. You want to pay me some more money? I see your invoice. What's up? And it's just like, that eliminates people when people see that you're stern and you believe in what you do when you say, hey.
And you stand by your experience and your product.
Yeah. And people will say, well, I want to see your work. Okay, cool. I send them Instagram. I want to see more of your work. Okay, cool. So I'll send them like some behind the scenes stuff, like some before and after Jones and next to each other, above and stuff. And I want to see some more. Okay, let me see some other stuff. And then they'll be like, well, I don't know if I want to work with you. Why you telling me?
Like, why did you have me send you all these different
Why did you waste my
pictures?
time?
Like,
Like,
Because they thought that pressure, for some reason, like, this is what I'll say. From my vantage point, when that happens, it's a tactic to see if I'm going to drop my price. So I can say, well, you know what? I'll do it for $2. And I'm like,
You can't even
nah.
get gas with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even get a gallon of gas, and you want $2? I would be more receptive to an individual just saying, hey man, how to get this off the muscle. I'm like, well, we didn't establish a muscle yet, but I'll make one up for you, you know, and I'll give it to you. I would be more receptive to that because I don't even actually mind doing free work. You know, but I would be more receptive to that versus you coming, man, you can't do this for 25 cents.
You get lower and lower every
I'd
time.
be like, okay, let me see.
Quarter.
So you want me to come to you, bring a backdrop, plus my equipment, drive, and how far is it? An hour and 37 minutes.
Right.
Okay, and then you want me to go back and then do editing for another 2, 3, maybe hours, and then you want input, right? You want to put your input to the edit
For a quarter.
for an additional dime. Okay,
it's not worth my time.
so you know what? I'm send you to some other people that.
Do you send people to other people?
Yeah, absolutely. That got merchandise, you know, like this. And you could work with them because their price is different than mine.
they don't value your skill.
Because I put in work, like even with like editing, like there's so much time that goes into that. It's not just like it's not even just
It's not like a Canva app.
right. It's just not upload these, send them out. It's no. I'm going through. I'm color correcting. I'm taking out blemishes. I'm adding things if needed.
Taking out wrinkles.
Right. You know.
Like in your clothes. Like in the clothes is wrinkled.
So, this is what I get oftentimes, right? Women will say to me when I'm taking their photos, "Can you make me thinner?" I'm like, "Well, I can, but it's gonna cost you, right? So, cause I can,
Like
right?
if you go to the doctor and say that, aren't they gonna charge you for that?
Exactly. And so, to your point, I have to give these analogies. If I was the doctor and you was asking that stuff, would you be arguing or would you be like, "Hey, doc," or would you pay top dollar?
Right.
Okay, so therefore, why am I going to, cut my price back, and I still have to eat as well? You know, like I still have to eat. So does that answer your question?
It does. It does.
So, I mean, but when I drop my book though, no, I'm messing around. When I drop my book, y'all probably just gonna be like, "Man, this dude be lying. He be lying. He be lying. This stuff ain't happening." But he funny though. Yes. So you got it now. Cheers. I remember it was about publishing every book a quarter.
I almost published a book every quarter this year.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That's
It would have been every quarter, but
Come
All
on.
right.
No,
Yep.
sorry.
it would have been every quarter, but I crashed my external hard drive playing Sims.
R.I.P.
I think this is like our second to last episode of the year. There's only one more Friday left of the year, and I don't know if we're going to do an episode because that is Christmas
That
Eve.
is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Are you the last one of the year?
Yeah. I know.
You the season
First-
finale.
I know. First time ever being a guest on a podcast. Holla at me.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Salute. Appreciate you. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's so.
And it's crazy because if you were to like watch the videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
you would not think that this was our setup.
Mr. Jonathan, right?
Ooh, I like that.
She rolled out.
Talk to me.
Are you subscribed to our YouTube page?
Yeah.
I am.
Oh,
You asked
okay.
me.
Yeah.
That's when we first
I
met.
actually did it right in front of you.
Okay.
Maybe I was behind you, though. 'Cause you were sitting off to the front. Yeah, I was behind you. I did it behind your back. I did it behind your back.
That's not.
So what's your New Year's resolution? Do you have one?
I do not waste life like that. No offense to anyone who spends their life the way that thing does.
Because it don't work. It doesn't work.
I haven't made one in years, and the last one I made was like 5 years ago, and it was to visit 2 places every year, and I do that heavy. Like
Alright.
I was like, yes.
That was not a shade shot, just FYI. Don't cancel me, please.
We actually did an episode on cancel culture. So I'm quick to cancel people.
No, I'm just.
Do you have any hopes for 2022?
I just hope to be alive. No, I'm lying. I just expect that I'll be alive and prosperous and continue to thrive.
Grow your business.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man, I don't spend my time thinking about like what the end of the year is gonna bring because I can do whatever that is right now.
Do you have any holiday traditions?
Waking up and living. That's it.
Like you and your daughter, you'll do anything special for Christmas?
Every day special to us. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. No.
I appreciate that.
No, it's just all seriousness. I don't like wasting. And then I say this, and I don't want anybody to feel the way I feel. I just feel like
Every day is special.
you should cherish every day. And I tell my daughter this all the time. I do get her gifts for Christmas. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not that guy. Okay. I do get her gifts for Christmas, right? On the same note, I also tell her that, Lee, you get stuff from me year round, right? That you don't even ask for. You don't even know it's coming. You know, that's how I express myself to you. You know, as my child. You know, I am in your life. I've been in your life since day one. You can't get rid of me until I expire. So with that, I acknowledge that life is so goddamn precious. I don't be wasting time. Like, Christmas, woo! Birthday, woo! Easter, woo!
How old is your daughter?
Woo! She's 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to have any more kids?
All right, so you're asking a challenging question. I don't have the bandwidth for challenging questions at the moment.
Like that.
Okay, so to answer your question on a more serious note, it is a thought that I have, and it's just a thought at the moment. I'm not in a relationship. I haven't been in a relationship for a while. I have 0 candidates.
I mean, would you like to tell them that? Are you looking for a candidate?
At this point, I would be paying somebody. not because.
For $9.99, you can
You can have for $9.99. You can have some semen. You know, and we can produce a child. But
have one too.
no. I was joking when I said that. Don't get it twisted. I have no problems
You have standards.
connecting with women. Like, true story. Like, I have 0 problems connecting with women. Intercourse is not a thing that I chase, but it is freely presented. I don't always take, but it is often presented. I don't always take.
I like the way you articulate.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't always take it. I don't always take a lot. You know, as long as you understand what I'm saying.
Because you have standards.
I have standards, and I don't want to be messing up and have a slip up, right? And then that $9.99 with the free $99. Damn, these should have paid. You know. $900,000. Right. And then this hairline dissolves all the way. I already got no feel after this point, man. This shit just drove just like a baby's ass. Yeah, so to answer your question, it definitely is. It's a thought, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just that experiencing parenting for 12 years with having to co-parent with my daughter's mother for 12 years, it definitely allowed me to cultivate a higher level of respect for life, right? So that I'm just not out here producing a bunch of children with people that
For the sake of producing.
for the sake of feelings.
Right.
All right, you know, and that's just not my style. You know,
That sounds like a job. That don't sound like a family. That
I
sounds
know,
like
like,
a
it
job.
sounds like, at first, it's like people are just in here, well, it's not at first, it's still happening. Just running around here impregnating people, and then they're like, oh, I have 8 kids, and they're all different moms. And like, wow, that's really sad, and you don't have the money to sit there and pay for any of them either.
right.
And even whenever they hit you with child support, what you gonna do then?
So what as far as like not defending anybody, I just keep it in the scope of like I know that when my daughter was conceived, it was a joint effort. You know what I'm saying?
So parenting needs to be a joint effort.
Parenting for sure. Like yo, I've been saying this for a minute, right? Because I've been single for a while, and I was just like, yo, this single parenting life for the birds. Like real talk, like for the birds. Now, on the same note, I guess I'm still hanging with the birds because compatibility is a thing, right? And meeting someone that is elevated mentally, elevated spiritually, you know what I mean? I handle my own finances, so you mean hopefully they can do that. But they would have to, right? Because it's like, what was you doing before I got here? Now you want to pick that? No. But anyway, elevated in the space, right? Because even like this is what I've learned too, right? And I'm a very humble guy. I'm gonna say it though, man. I'm gonna say it. I got to. I'm feeling it. So what I've learned is that when these people come around me, young ladies come around me that aren't on my level, they tend to like to attach themselves, right? Because it's like, damn, what the hell? This dude's energy is like really unique, and I've noticed that it's I want to do better because I'm around you. And I'm like, no, don't want to do better because you're around me. Do better because you just want to do better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a draining game. So I wanna switch gears because I know that we've been in the thick of this, right? So I wanna switch some gears real quick. And we've only known each other for 2 weeks. Me and Dave, we like 13 years in or something like that, you know. And I know that we, when I first met you all in the same location at once, right? I was talking about like a book and the storylines behind my book and how it would be multiple books versus just one. And so something I had brought with me are just like some parts of my life that are extremely valuable to me. And I was like, when I was here with you all, I thought of this and I was like, these props would have to be covers from a book, right? Because these are the different parts of my life, right, that are so meaningful. And these are some of the things, right? And so I have this pen, right? And y'all like, man, why I got this pen looking like a birthday boy? Meanwhile, this is a neighbor of mine. He was murdered when he was 19, right? And I keep this because I remember around this time when the time he was murdered, I remember thinking to myself, just being exposed to the toxicity of the hood.
Yes.
That I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. I probably won't make it till 21. Right. I might not make it, and I'm cool with it, you know what I mean? Like I ain't no bad kid. I ain't gonna burn in hell at least, you know. So yeah. And it's a saddening mindset, right, and thought process to look back on and be like, damn, I forgot that I even used to think about that because now I'm 33, right? Headed to 34 in a couple weeks, and
you aging gracefully.
you did,
You are.
you know, I'm drinking that. Yeah. Thank you. And it just made me remember like how whack childhood was. On the same note, it also reminds me like how valuable life is, and you never know when it's time for you to expire. When you wake up dead, and you look at that skin watch like, hey, was I supposed to be up here this early? You know, that's what this reminds me of, and I keep this. I had pulled this out of my closet today, and I was just like, damn, bro, like I haven't seen you since we was kids, legit. And you know, the last time I seen him is when he was going in the ground, you know, and it just keeps me focused on like making sure that even when conflict and confrontation arises, that I'm quick to address it so that we can get to some resolve, you know, in every aspect of my life, and not just parenting, not just friendship or anything like that. Because life is so valuable, you know what I mean? Another thing is, you know, my other merch you did. You know, we got pen faces, baby. This camera is a reminder of, excuse me. It's a reminder of my passion, right? As you know, as you all know, I'm a photographer by my skill set. And it reminds me of like a few things, right? It reminds me of like how time is so underrated, right? And there's a few ways that you can freeze time, right? And then there's a few ways you can freeze time extremely accurately, right? There's your memory, right? There's some artwork that you could create based on history, right? There's photography, there's videography, and like audio engineering and stuff like that, right? My medium is photography, right? This is very, very accurate when it comes to capturing a kilosecond in time that you'll never get back. You know, and this was like one of my favorite toys as a kid, you know, as a teenager. Like, yeah, I used to have film, baby, but look at that. You know, you remember those like 5 megabyte cards, right? You thought you had something. Like, oh, I got 102 pictures, yo. I used to have 11. You know, I got 102 now. B, what's good? And I can delete them if they, you know how they get blurry sometimes. Yeah. And got the autofocus, son, and it got the date at the bottom. Yeah. But I pulled this out the closet too today, and I was just like, damn, man, this is one of my first cameras that I ever bought, one of my first digital cameras. And it just it keeps me in a place of solidarity and focus, you know, and appreciation. All right. Also, it's a big hustle for me, right? Because it keeps my daughter fed, keeps me fed, keeps the mortgage paid, you know what I mean? Keeps gas in the car and all that other stuff. It's a hustle. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff. I know y'all ain't seen nothing like this since '85, baby. You youngins that's watching, this is what we call a CD. Compact disc. So something that I'm not even gonna go super in depth. What this symbolizes is my entrepreneurial muscle. Right? So in middle school, I used to sell CDs. Right? That was one of my hustles, right? I ain't gonna get into the other ones because you gonna have to copy the book. You want the drip, you gotta copy the book, baby. But this was one of my many hustles, $5 CDs, yo. And this before the CDs, right? I'm gonna give y'all this one jewel. Before the CDs, we were still in the era of cassettes.
Yeah.
So I used to sell mixtapes, literally cassette tapes.
Like, I love having cassettes.
Right. So I recently got a new vehicle, right? And it has a CD player, and I was I'm not gonna lie. And I was so excited. And so when I pulled out the box, a disc, these 3 things were in there together, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna take these on to the podcast tonight. And it just these are very symbolic to my journey. You know what I mean? To adulthood, to manhood, to leaving the street, getting out of the hood, to parenting, to more positive interactions with humans. It tells a lot. These 3 things just tell a lot about me. And I just want to thank y'all for having me on, man.
Thanks for having.
Thank you
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then you're in the season finale.
I know, man. You know, you gotta let. They say the best. You know, say the best for last. Say what it is. You know. You know. So yeah, man. Hats off, just like my hairline, dude.
Make sure you subscribe, like us, and share, and listen to us.
Facts.
Watch us everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep, all that. Thanks you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed season 2. Look forward for season 3. We're not sure what's going to happen in season 3, but it'll be fun. You know, stay along for the ride. You know,
Period.
keep sipping.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Then this life's